Well, last night, just before midnight, we received a call from people in the neighborhood reporting someone was firing their gun at a residence in the 2500 block of East Roosevelt. And when our officers arrived to the area, they actually heard a gunshot, and when they approached the residence, they saw a man standing on the front porch armed with a handgun. Our officers immediately asked the man to put down his weapon, and the suspect did not comply, and he even pointed his weapon in the direction of Stockton police officers. At that point, our officers had to make a split-second decision, not only to protect themselves, but also to protect the people, the residents that live in this neighborhood. So 4 Stockton police officers fired their weapons, striking the man, who was then immediately transported to a local area hospital. And at my last briefing, I was informed that the man is expected to survive his injuries. So right now we've invoked what we call a protocol investigation, which is a countywide protocol investigation into this shooting. We have members from the State Department of Justice, the San Joaquin County District Attorney investigators, along with detectives from the Stockton Police Department, investigating the events that led up to the shooting and processing the crime scene. The information I have on the suspect right now is that he is still in the hospital being guarded by officers, and he is a man in his mid-30s. We're still trying to figure out exactly as much as we can on the suspect, looking at his criminal history, and we're still trying to figure out why he was out here firing his gun last night.
Did he live at that residence?
That's another part of this investigation. We're still trying to determine exactly why he was at that house and if he did live at that residence or some other residence nearby on the street.
No other injuries to anybody else, or?
No, all the officers were okay. Obviously, this was a very tense situation, and one of the most dangerous calls that you can go to as a law enforcement officer is a shots fired call, especially at nighttime. And when you actually hear a gunshot, you really got to slow down what you're doing so that you can make sure that you approach safely so that you don't get hurt or anyone else doesn't get hurt. And we like to resolve these type of incidents peacefully. But last night we were forced into a situation where the suspect was armed with a handgun, did not comply with the officer's orders to drop the handgun, and then the suspect proceeded to point his gun in the direction of officers. So once again, they had to make that split-second decision because they were in fear not only for their lives, but for the lives of the residents that live in this neighborhood.